several archaeologists who most viciously and painfully attacked me after the release of Ancient Apocalypse. John Hoops at the University of Kansas was another. You, on our last show together, you issued a challenge for a debate. And I said I'd be willing to debate any serious archaeologist who was willing to debate me. John Hoops at the University of Kansas immediately backed out. He wouldn't debate at all. But finally, Flint Dibble said he would. He would like to take up that challenge. And the sad thing is that Flint, this is open knowledge because Flint and I published a joint statement on social media. Flint is suffering from a bad cancer right now. It was diagnosed after he accepted the challenge. He's on heavyweight chemotherapy. And I feel for him. He's been hateful to me. I don't want to hate him back. I know he's coming from a place of sincerity. I know he genuinely believes I'm wrong. And I really welcome the opportunity to debate with him on your show openly for 3 hours to have a detailed discussion. But it's not his fault that he's not here today. It's because the chemotherapy has made it just impossible for him to function in this kind of setting. But
well, we wish him well, and we hope he recovers.
We hope he recovers, and we are provisionally talking about coming back on your show in April 2024. When he hopes to be over the worst of the chemotherapy, to do that debate. And I look forward to it. And I hope that it'll end up being a reasonable exchange between two human beings rather than two human beings hating on each other. You know?
Yeah, well, I think we can make that real. Jamie, have you seen, there's been some talk of some new drug that they've found that's very effective for cancer. Have you seen this? It starts with an F. I'm trying to remember what the hell it's called.
I saw a story about that as well.
Yeah. Let me try to find it here. I know I have it saved in my my Instagram, I think. Give me 1 second here. Saved. It's either I saved it on Instagram or I saved it on Twitter. Let me find it here. Starts with an F. It's some sort of a very low-cost drug that's being repurposed. I think it's some sort of an anti-parasitic drug that's being repurposed and is having supposedly remarkable results.
Yeah.
You've heard of this as well?
I've heard something about it. I haven't looked at it in depth, but I did catch a headline
I must have saved
about
it
that.
Here, I must have saved
And this
it
is where we can also say that modern science isn't all bad, you know. There's a lot of good stuff in modern science.
I found it. Here it is. Yes. No, of course. Modern science is amazing. The problem is money. The problem is when these people that are creating these incredible drugs, these scientists and doctors and these people that are having these amazing medical advancements, they're connected to something that just wants to make money.
Yeah.
The people that are selling the drugs and the people that are running the companies are completely different than the scientists that are legitimately developing these things, and many of them turn out to be very effective for all sorts of ailments and diseases. So I sent this to you, Jamie. Overlooked miracle drug for cancer, why Big Pharma fears fenbendazole. At least 12 anti-cancer mechanisms of action, 9 research papers reviewed. So I think this stuff is supposed to be low cost, and this is some of the speculation, the conspiracy theory about like why people are afraid of it.
Well, I hope that Flint is aware of this and that it helps him to recover
that's why I brought it up.
From his cancer. That's very good to know.
I hope he's interested in even just examining it.
I think he will be.
I hope so.
But there's been some reaction to this.
I just found out about this a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So these research papers, stop right there, has at least 12 proven anti-cancer mechanisms in vitro and in vivo. It disrupts microtubulate polymerization, major mechanism, induces cell cycle, whatever that means, arrest, blocks glucose transport and impairs glucose utilization by cancer cells, increases P53 tumor suppressor levels, inhibits cancer cell viability, inhibits cancer cell migration and invasion, induces apoptosis, induces autophagy, induces, they're trying to get me with all these words, prioptosis and necrosis, induces differentiation and senescence, inhibits tumor angiogenesis, reduces colony formation and inhibits stemness in cancer cells, inhibits drug resistance, and sensitizes cells to conventional chemo as well as radiation therapy. Interesting.
And they're saying there that
sensitizes cells to chemotherapy.
a very similar drug in the same family is already been approved by the FDA.
And that is mebendazole. And it is in several clinical trials right now for brain cancers and colon cancers. Mm-hmm. So why are no fenbendazole clinical trials for cancer? The answer seems rather obvious. It's very cheap, it's safe, and it seems to be effective. Yeah, very effective.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Big Pharma don't see a margin in it.
If that, who knows? But if that is the case, what an enemy of the people. They're preventing information and preventing people from using things.
Yeah, well, we've created a society that seems to be designed to make us sick, and then Big Pharma steps in with so-called remedies for it, which happen to make some people a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's certainly a narrative that this is the only way to go. Mm-hmm. The way to go is eat whatever you want, and don't even think about your diet and your health. Yeah, I have a friend who got over cancer, and I said, did they talk to you about diet and health and vitamins? This person doesn't take any vitamins at all. Yeah. And they're like, no, there's no discussion at all. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So I send them some stuff about ketosis and what the studies have been done about ketosis and cancer. And then, it's one of the things that some doctors will tell you to do when you're going through cancer is to get on a ketogenic diet. Yeah. There could be some benefits to that. But you want to cover all your bases if something's wrong. And one of the things I would imagine that your doctor should tell you, hey, you should probably be more metabolically healthy as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. We are what we eat. Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. I know it sounds so, again, abstract, but the food that you consume is literally the building blocks of your physical tissue.
It's the first step in a healthy life, actually, is the decisions you make about food.
Yeah. Well, how controversial. How wacky. Someone get to Wikipedia right now and call us pseudoscientists.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So back to Flint Dibble. So hopefully he will do well with this and come through it on the other end, and we'll have a respectful conversation. And maybe we both can learn something, or all three of you. All three of us can learn something. That's
what I hope. And I'd like to say on the record. I don't hate archaeologists. I know that there's a lot of great work that's done by archaeologists. I myself could not do the work I do were it not for the work that archaeologists have done out there in the field, painstakingly digging and producing evidence.